This is Andrew Tate.
The controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate.
Charged with human trafficking.
He emerged handcuffed and looking serious.
What is his connection with Romania? Who is he?
Notorious, some would say.
I'm sure many of you have heard of these infamous brothers, Andrew and Tristan, but who are they? Why are they so known? How did they gain this popularity? Every podcast wants to get a hold of them. Every podcast wants to speak with Andrew, speak with Tristan. The only question is, how did they get to this point? How did two kickboxing brothers who were relatively unknown a couple years ago become so famous so quickly? To understand that, we need to go back in time. This is Emery Tate, Andrew and Tristan's father.
You ain't never too big for daddy. You come here to daddy, boy.
He was a chess prodigy, international grandmaster, and he was ranked 72 in the US in 2006. And he even played 3 matches against current world number 2 Hikaru Nakamura, one of the greatest chess players of all time. To go toe to toe with someone of that level can't be understated. Not only that, it doesn't stop there. Emery Tate was a sergeant in the US Air Force. It makes sense that his sons have carried on the discipline that he had. He was also an especially proficient linguist, being able to articulate himself very well. Since I've practically binged every single Andrew Tate interview in prep for this, it makes sense where Andrew and Tristan get their ability to articulate so well. Emery unfortunately passed though in 2015, but the one thing he left with both his sons Andrew and Tristan was charisma, the ability to inspire people.
Everybody always says, if you tried your best, that's all that matters. The best is all you can do. If you tried your best, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you lose if you tried your best. But there is a secret to the universe that most don't know. If you actually try your best, you can't lose.
This charisma is the reason why Andrew Tate is so successful, why he's got such a big fan base, and also maybe why you either love or hate Andrew. There isn't really an in-between. This perfectly moves us onto how Andrew Tate even blew up. After Andrew Tate retired from kickboxing in 2016, he still didn't really have much popularity. No one really knew who he was, but that was soon going to change. Andrew and Tristan moved to Romania in 2017, and after a couple silent years, in 2021, they launched to the real world. But this was really the start of the rise of Andrew Tate. This is what took him from just a retired kickboxer to being the most Googled on the planet. To understand why Andrew Tate is in such a serious court case right now, fighting for his life, we need to explain how he blew up. Towards the back end of 2021, Andrew Tate just started up Hustlers University, and some people were joining his course. Now, the main way of making money in this course was affiliate marketing. For those of you who don't know, it's basically getting commission for every person you get to join the course, and this was quite lucrative, especially for the initial first couple hundred. They were clipping thousands and thousands of Andrew Tate from 10 years ago, 11 years ago, any video which he ever made, all in the same week, in the same month. So from one day to the next, literally overnight, he went from being an absolute nobody to being known in practically every city in the world. His harsh motivational style, his passion.
The second you stop being useful as a man, you'll see how cruel this world is. When nobody looks at you and goes, this man has a utility, this man is good for X.
This was the initial attraction though which exploded Andrew, and from this point on, he started to get a bit of a target on his back. Now we know he's a master businessman, but you see, there's a bigger impact than just being famous. Being successful on TikTok, that was nothing. What he was really doing was something much more powerful.
Cheers, gentlemen.
And that was inspiring people.
If you have a mind that you can't control, then you're never going to be a king.
Just 6 months after his notorious rise, Andrew was banned on every single social media platform simultaneously, along with Tristan. It started to become clear that their influence was becoming such a problem that they were even being discussed in UK Parliament as a threat to the youth. In December 2022, Andrew and Tristan's home in Bucharest was raided by Romanian police, and they were both arrested on charges of alleged human trafficking and forming a criminal organization. I tried to do as much research as I could, figuring out the case details, but there really isn't much on the internet. After Andrew was arrested, people were expecting him to be released within 24 hours, as legally police can only hold someone for 24 hours without charging them. However, Andrew was detained for over 3 months until March 2023. If this isn't a sign of just how badly the government wanted to arrest him, I don't know what is. After being released in March 2023, Andrew and Tristan were put on house arrest.
It's a little bit emotional. I've been in one room since last year, so it's a little bit emotional.
And they still, almost 2 years later, have still not had trial. Since being released though in March, Andrew has been doing the only thing he can do, and that is speak with podcasts and journalists like Tucker Carlson, Michael Francis. Since he's been censored, of course, he's not able to speak on social media except Twitter. So podcast is almost the only way for him to speak with his audience. He's pretty much been on a podcast tour for the last year and a half, continuing to preach how to become an exceptional man in life. But just when you thought things couldn't get worse, in March 2024, Andrew and Tristan were arrested again, this time on a separate case from the UK on human trafficking between 2012 and 2015, and the UK Magistrates Court were requesting his extradition to the UK to face his charges. Luckily though, he was released after 24 hours and he has been free since. But with 2 cases lingering over their heads, there's a pretty big chance Andrew and Tristan go away for a long time. No one knows the ins and outs of the case. No one knows guilty or innocent. And to make matters worse, there isn't even a jury in Romania. Andrew's whole future is being decided by one single judge. We can all have our opinions about Andrew, whether you like him or dislike him, but if former President Donald Trump can be charged with 34 felony counts BS, no one's safe. Not me, you, or anybody. Thank you for watching.
I have no resentment in my heart for the country of Romania or for anybody else. I just believe in the truth.
Persian came up with an idea, I think, to run a speedway. Like they used to do in the old days, they take the king and they run it over here and hide it over here. But it's a long run.